This past September, I took my boyfriend Chris home to meet my family. As we set out to drive from Virginia to Rochester, New York, the rain was biblical in its intensity. I might have seen this as a bad sign if I were the kind of person who believed in signs, which I was not, as of that moment. This wasn't just Chris's first time meeting my family. This was my first time bringing someone home, ever. As Chris kept saying, "This is a real milestone, babe." Chris was the first guy I'd ever dated long enough or functionally enough to get to this point. And dating him had always been so easy, so fun, so too good to be true, which caused me a certain amount of anxiety, which somehow translated in this obsession with milestones. It was like I thought the more milestones we could get through, the more tangible proof I would have that we weren't too good to be true. And since this was my longest relationship yet, technically, every day was a milestone. When I told this to Chris, he said, "Yeah, we're not celebrating every day we don't break up." So I had to find other milestones, like first time going to Chipotle, first time driving somewhere in my car, starting our first Netflix series together. As we navigated the sheeting rain and partially washed out roads through Pennsylvania, Chris said, "So how many people are going to be there tomorrow?" I think it's only about 12, I said, which was fairly average for a non-holiday gathering of my immediate family. Chris immediately started reciting all of the stuff he'd been studying from Facebook. "Your sister Allison's husband's name is James, except you call him Jim." "You know," I said, "it's not like I require their approval to keep dating you," which was almost totally true. But it was a moot point. I knew they were going to like him because A, everybody likes Chris, and B, I'm 35 years old bringing home my first serious boyfriend. Yeah. My family's going to embrace anybody short of an escaped convict, and even then, I'm pretty sure my dad would at least hear him out. What I was really scared of was that Chris wasn't going to like my family. I mean, I love my family, and if he didn't, that could be a problem. This was one of those milestones, the ones that could change us, unlike our first trip to Wegmans. I'm one of 6 kids, and we've always been loud and raucous, but now that they're all married and have kids, dinner is like eating in the middle of a parade route. Chris was raised with his one brother by his single mom. His family gatherings are generally sedate affairs with attendance in the single digits. My biggest fear is at the end of the weekend we'd get in the car and he would say, "Phew, let's not do that very often." The next day, as we waited for everyone to arrive, Chris was nervous, but I think I was more nervous. Okay, look, if my brother starts to get all protective and stuff and use words like intentions, just walk away. And Chris said, "Yeah, I'm not doing that." So I started praying that my sisters wouldn't use words like babies and weddings and sebaceous cysts. One of my sisters is just really gross. So everyone arrives and introductions are made, and we immediately lose each other in the crowd, and we don't come back together until we're sitting down to eat. And I lean over and I say, "Are you okay? How's it going?" And he said, "Don't worry about me. You just enjoy your time with your family." And I prayed that the unspoken wasn't, "Because we're never doing this again." I expected dinner to be ground zero. My family loves it when new people come to visit. It lets us show off just how hilarious and crazy we think we are. It's when pass the bread becomes a quarterback toss the length of the table, and any comment, no matter how simple, is an invitation to battle of the wits. I'd always loved my role in those games because I was never the one bringing someone home. And I thought back to all the times I'd participated in hazing my sister's boyfriends, and my entire body tensed as I waited for the first volley. But aside from when my 92-year-old grandma gave me a thumbs up and said, "Meredith, he's very cute. Well done," nothing weird happened. No food was thrown. No one used the word poop inappropriately. Even my antisocial autistic nephew tried to engage Chris in a conversation. I'd been so focused on our milestone it never occurred to me that this was a milestone for my family as well. They didn't know what the magic ingredient was between me and Chris, but more to the point, they didn't know why I'd waited so long to bring somebody home. And nobody wanted to be the one who said or did the thing that ruined it. I also really want to believe that they were motivated by thoughts like, wow, they're so good together, let's really support this, more than, oh man, if this doesn't work, next time she's going to bring home her cats. But either way, I win. So the next day, my parents walk us out to the car, and hugs are given all the way around. As we're backing out of the driveway, Chris says, your parents are cute, and your family is fun. I hope our next visit's longer. And I let out a breath that I had been holding for weeks. And our next visit was longer. We stayed for 4 days at Thanksgiving. And then something kind of unexpected happened. I stopped obsessing on the milestones. I didn't even acknowledge our 11-month anniversary or our first snowfall. And then when we passed our 1-year anniversary last week, it suddenly occurred to me that maybe, just maybe, the secret ingredient was simply love.